In this particular lecture, let's learn how to handle user input in React. When you develop real-world web applications, you typically need to capture data from the user using your web application with the use of input fields which you have. Now, in case of regular websites, you have HTML forms and you have the form input elements to accept that particular data. However, in React, things work in a different way. In React, the HTML elements which you have, you obviously can create those HTML elements like the input button, the submit button, so on and so forth. But these elements which you create are actually controlled by React instead of them being controlled by HTML. So in order to understand how this works, let's take a simple example. So over here, I'll create a new component called as form.jsx. And in that particular component, we will be creating a simple user form. So form.jsx. And over here, I would say export default function form, and then make this thing return a simple div for now. All right. And let's say this thing says form. And over here, let's add it to the main app.js. So over here, I would say form and make sure that it's automatically imported. And once we save this, if I go back here to the browser, as you can see, we have that form component added up over here. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's add an actual form there. So let's close the rest of the files which we have. Go inside the form component, and over here, I would create a simple form inside this div. So in order to create a form, we use the form tag, which is an HTML tag, and that automatically creates a form for us. Now, I will not set any kind of action here, so I'll get rid of that. And inside this form, let's have a basic input element. So I would say input. The type is going to be text. And over here, let's now go ahead and let's also set some value for this one, which is a dummy value. So let's say this thing says first name. All right. So if I save this and if I go back here, as you can see, now we have the first name here. But if I try to go ahead and kind of type something in over here, nothing happens and we are not actually able to change the value here. And in order to understand why this happens, I could inspect the page, go to the console, and over here you get a warning which says that a component is changing an uncontrolled inputs to be controlled. This is likely caused by a value changing coming from an undefined to a defined value, which should not happen. So the reason why we get this particular error is because in React, we cannot go ahead and directly change the value of this particular input field which we have. So if you actually want to change the value of this one, we use a specific attribute on this particular input field, which is called as onChange. So just as we had that particular on click on a button, in a similar fashion, in order to capture events which are associated with an input field, we have something called as onChange, which is an attribute or a property. So what this onChange does is that it executes a certain function whenever we go ahead and try to change this thing. So let's go ahead and let's define that particular function here. So let's say when we type something over here, we want to execute a function, which is, let's say, handle change. So over here, I would say, all right, when the input changes, I actually want to execute a function which is handle change. So I pass in that handle change here, and let's define that function up over here. So function handle change. And in this particular function, let's not have any kind of code right now. Let's only have a line of code to console log something. So here I would console log and say change occurred. Save this and let's go back here. Let's hit refresh this time and let's try to change the value over here. So let me type in a key here. So I'll press the A key on my keyboard, and as soon as I do that, it says change occurred. If I press another key by going inside the input, it again says that, and if I keep on typing this, that console log is going to be logged over here every time I press a key. All right. So that means now we understand that whenever we press a key or whenever we try to input some value over here, this handle change method is going to be triggered. So this particular onChange is an attribute which executes a function every time an event happens related to this input, and especially the event in which the user types something into that input. All right, so now we know that an event is actually happening here, but now what we wish to do is that we wish to change the value of this input when that event happens. So how exactly would you go ahead and do that? So the very first thing which we have to do here is that we have to get rid of the value from this one so that this is empty. But even though this is empty, this still does not work. And that's because we cannot set the value of this input field to something hard-coded. Instead, we need to set the value of this input to a variable. And we all know that whenever we have to use variables in React, we make use of the state variables. And that's exactly what we will do here as well. So over here, I'll create a state, and let's name that particular state as something. So as this is the first name, I would actually create a state called as name. So const name, comma, set name, and this is going to be equal to use state, and make sure that use state is imported. And let's set the initial value of name to be empty. Therefore, I'll pass in an empty string right up over here. And now instead of setting this value as empty, I would say that I want to set the value of this input field to the name state variable which we have here. So now if I go back, this is now empty. And if I change the state to something like Rob, now this will say Rob. So for now, let's keep it empty. All right. So now our job is to go ahead and change the value of this input whenever we type something. So now the question is how to do that. So whenever we type something, that means an event is happening here. And in order to get the information about that event, what we could do is that we could pass in the event object to this particular handle change method which we have here. So in order to pass in an event here, I could simply go ahead and do something like this, which is an event, but there's a problem with this approach. And that problem is we are directly trying to call this particular function and we cannot actually do that. So in order to get access to that particular event here, we have to create a function, get access to that event, and then pass that event to this inner function which we have. So this does not work because right now we are not able to get access to that event which we have. So in order to get access to that event, what we have to do is instead of directly calling this function, we have to first create a function, call that function, and return this function inside that function. Now this might sound a little bit confusing, but it will be quite easy once you understand what's happening here. So for now, what I would do is that I would cut this, and over here I'll define another function. So let's call this function as demo. And this demo function is going to receive an event, which is the event related to this button. And over here, I'll define that function. Now remember that it's not a good practice to do something like this over here, but I'm just writing this code so that you understand what exactly is happening here. All right, so once we have this function, over here, I'll make this function return a callback function, which is nothing but the handle change function. And to this particular handle change function, I would pass in the event E, which we have up over here. All right. So now what this does is that when the onChange happens, it will execute this function, which will get the event. And that event is going to be passed to this callback function, which is handle change. And now this handle change function, which we have up over here, will be now able to receive that particular event. So let's pass in that event here. And now instead of console logging change occurred, let's console log the event directly. So I'll pass in event here. So now let's see what happens if I hit refresh. So if I hit refresh, if I go here, I'll press a key over here on my keyboard. And now as you can see, as the output, we got this particular synthetic base event, which means that this is an event object. So if you open up this event, there's a whole bunch of information here. And here you'll be able to see that in the data we got A, and that's because I had actually pressed the A key on my keyboard. Now if you go to the target here, you'll be able to see that the target here is input. And in order to get the actually typed value here, I could get that from the target. So we already have the event, and in the event object, we have a property called as target. And inside the target property, we again have this value property. So over here, if I want to get the key which is being pressed by the user, I have to say e.target.value. All right, so if I save this right now, let's see what happens. So let me go to the console, hit refresh, and this time I'll type in A. So if I press A here, as you can see, nothing appears over here, but now A appeared over here in the console. And that's because using this event, we are now able to access the key which is pressed in that event by making use of the event object, then accessing the target property, and then accessing the value property on it. So now if I press B, I'll get B. If I press C, I'll get C. So if I type some input over here like Apple, I'll get that up over here. But the thing is that input is still not changing here. So now in order to actually change this input, what we do is we take the single values which we are receiving here, and we could finally set the name value to those particular values which we have. But even before doing that, there's one modification which we have to make to our code. And that modification is, instead of writing a whole function over here, we could now make use of arrow function. So this demo function which we are having here, we know that we won't be using it anywhere else. So instead we could replace this particular function with a simple demo function. So what I would do is I would comment out this code. You could actually delete it, but as I want to show you how I want to replace this, I'll go ahead and comment this thing out, and I would say onChange equals, and one of the most simplest way to write this code in a much more simplistic fashion is you could create a function which looks like this, and as this function is returning handle change, I could directly say handle change here, which is automatically going to be returned. And then as this function accepts the event, I will accept the event here and then pass it to this function like that. So this, as you can see, is a more simpler way of actually handling that particular event. So now I could get rid of this dirty looking code from here. And now, as you can see, this code is much more precise. So whenever you will be creating input fields in React, this is what you will usually do. So you define an onChange here, capture the change event which happens, and from that you are actually going to get the value of the single pressed letter which the user has actually typed in. Now once you have this particular value, now what you could do is you could set the name value to whatever input which we have here. So over here, instead of console logging this, I could say set name to e.target.value. Let's save this. And now what happens is, if I hit refresh, if I type in A, that value gets assigned here. And now what's happening here is that as I press A, this event gets passed here. The handle change is executed. The handle change receives that event and it sets the name value to A. Now what happens is, next time when I type in B, it actually executes this handle change function, which is this function. Then it receives that particular key in e.target.value, and it takes the current value of name, because right now the name value is already A. So it takes the value and it now sets it to B. So if I say B here, it also adds B over there as well. And due to this, now we will be able to type in entire words here, and the input value would be set over here as well. And it might look simple, that is, it might look like you're only entering a value here, but this value of Apple is actually being logged or actually being stored inside this particular state variable, which is name. Now there's one more simplification which we could make to this code to make this code even more precise and compact. So over here we are calling in the handle change, and we are passing in an event here, and all that this function is doing is that it's simply setting in the value of the name. So what you could also do is you could directly set the value of name over here itself without using the handle change function. So you could delete this handle change from here, and you could directly say set the value of name to e.target.value, and that's it. Now you could get rid of this function from here as well. So this is how it works. So we are getting an event here, and we are directly passing in that event to the set name, and the set name is taking the value out of that event and setting the value of the name variable to whatever data which we are typing in there. So if I go ahead, hit refresh, type in any words here, those values are going to be set here. So I hope this kind of gives you an idea about how an input field has to be designed in React. And I know that this might sound a lot complex, and it might sound unnecessarily complicated, but it's actually quite simple once you get used to the syntax. So remember that you don't have to write all the ugly code which we have written previously. Whenever you create a new input, you will be able to write this kind of code. And the reason why we have covered that code was just to show you what's exactly happening here. And that's because a lot of times many developers make tutorial videos wherein they directly go ahead and set the value of input field using this code. And most of the time people actually get confused as to what exactly this thing is. From now onwards, whenever we will be setting the value of an input field, we will directly go ahead and use the syntax, and using the syntax, it's much easier to set the value of an input field. So once we have learned how to handle a single input field, in the next lecture, let's go ahead and let's learn how you could handle multiple input fields inside React. So let's learn how to do that in the next one.